Actual attainments follow from doing what your teacher likes. Has been said by Buddha Vajradhara himself. Knowing this, try to please your spiritual teacher fully with all the actions of your body, speech, and mind. Everyone wants only happiness and never to experience any suffering. The source of these achievements is your spiritual teacher, where he shows you the path to Buddhahood and by his living example as an enlightened being inspires you to travel the path yourself. If you realize this, you will understand the importance of a single-minded commitment to your spiritual teacher and you will do only what pleases him. As the source of these teachings is the Buddha Vajradhara, you should put aside all doubts, follow them with full conviction, and you can attain enlightenment. What pleases your teacher then is your practice leading to Buddhahood. Thus, your motivation for pleasing him should be bodhicitta and your wish to help others. You should not be prompted by worldly desires such as seeking your teacher's praises or fatherly approval. Moreover, if your teacher scolds you, examine your feelings. If you have not intentionally belittled him or sought to annoy him, and if you have not responded to his scolding with anger or accusations that he is unenlightened, then you have not committed a breach of your commitment to him. In such situations, it is totally inappropriate to become depressed, despondent, or to feel self-pity and guilt that your teacher does not love you anymore. To do so is an indication of your strong ego grasping, which causes you to take his criticism too personally. Marpa scolded and even beat Milarepa many times. This was not because he personally disliked him, but because out of compassion he saw the need for skillful means that were forceful. Thus, if your spiritual teacher is wrathful with you, try to see this as a method he is using to tame your mind and lead you to enlightenment. As a Buddha, how can he possibly hate you? After a disciple has taken refuge in a triple gem and develops a pure, enlightened motive, he should be given this text to recite daily, how to abandon his own arrogant self-will and follow in his teacher's footsteps along the greater path of enlightenment. By studying the prerequisites, training in a wholehearted commitment to a teacher in the greater path, common to both Sutra and Tantra, you will be a suitable vessel to hold the pure Dharma. You may then be given such teachings as Tantra. After receiving the proper empowerments, read out the 14 root vows and then take them sincerely to heart. This text was written to be recited daily so that disciples will not forget the important points of how to conduct themselves with their spiritual teacher. When your master has prepared you in this way for tantric teachings and you have become a suitable vessel, then it is proper for him to initiate you. He will then explain the tantric vows and must be sure never to transgress them. As I have not made the mistake when writing this work of adding my personal interpretation, may this be of infinite benefit to all disciples who wish to follow their teachers. By the limitless positive potential I have built up in this way, may all sentient beings quickly attain to the state of Buddha. This was written by the great Ashvaghosha, and it was translated by the great Rinpoche Sangpo, together with the great Indian abbot Pedma Kara Varma. So this scripture, the source is Buddha Vajradhara. It was further abbreviated and written commentary in stylized poetic stanza form by the great master Ashvaghosha, and it was translated into Tibetan by the great Rinpoche Sangpo with the great Indian abbot Pedma Kara Varma. So the text has source. The text has reason. The text is valid. That is the reason for writing the author, writing the source, citing the source, citing the author, citing the translator to give it authenticity. We cannot run around and compose these kind of texts and say, you do it and it's the Buddha's words. You must cite its authenticity. This is what this author has done. Now, when they say recite daily, it doesn't mean all the comments in between. Of course, you read that once, but the stanzas, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, to recite that daily to remind you of what your commitment are. If you recite all your meditational practices, you do all your mantras and you do all your offerings, but you do not have proper guru conduct, you will not gain enlightenment. Reciting this is not a torturous act. It is not to brainwash you. It is not to torture you. It is not to make you follow a guru mindlessly. It is to remind you what is a conduct toward a being who is enlightened, who is teaching you enlightenment, who represents the state of enlightenment that you wish to achieve. The proper conduct to the guru is not fanatical. It is based on logic. It is based on your physical and mental capabilities. And the guru is the greatest training ground for you to destroy your delusions, destroy your illusions, destroy your hatred, destroy your anger, destroy all the 10 non-virtuous acts that you have engaged in since you were born, from your previous life up till now, even from this morning to tonight. What actions have you committed? More on the positive or negative? More committed toward worldly, senseless activities that bring the 3 lower realms to you closer, or activities that bring you closer to enlightenment? Your guru is the greatest training ground for you to become an enlightened being. If you can practice all the qualities that I have mentioned here, With your guru, you will be able to practice all this with all sentient beings. When you can practice this with all sentient beings without any feeling of hurt or attachment or detachment or nothing, you have realized emptiness, you have gained compassion. Your guru is the battleground for you. And the best thing about it is that your guru does not expect anything from you except your dharma practice. Anything you do in relation to your guru, offer food, offer material, service, massaging, helping, assisting, it is not for him, it is for you. If you think it is for him, you have been mistaken. Your visualization is wrong, your motivation is wrong, your thinking is wrong, your idea is wrong from the start. Therefore, you will not accrue the action. If you visualize that it is a Buddha and you're massaging the Buddha, and by massaging the Buddha, you eliminate negative karma for you to become sick in the future and all sentient beings to be sick in the future, you will acquire that. If you think you're massaging because you're going to get a yelling, then that's the benefit you get. You don't get a yelling. The motivation depends on you. If you make an offering to your guru of $1 million in order to impress your friends and show off and how wonderful you are and fabulous, no merits. If you make an offering of $1 sincerely, and that's all you have and you wish to gain enlightenment, you will gain enlightenment by that act. Because your guru is the representative, the ambassadors of the Buddhas. Without your guru, you will never ever see the Buddhas. You will never ever meet the Buddhas. You will never even hear the teachings. If you hear it, you'll be confused, lost. If you attempt to practice it, dangerous. If you do the wind meditation, you get the wrong wind, you go crazy. Your guru guides you, teaches you, gives you an object to emulate and a great training ground for your destructive emotions that you are so strong. And again, remember how you were, as it states in Rinpoche's book, before you met your teacher. Worse than a wild animal, because you have the potential to be more, but you do the same as a wild animal. Therefore, worse. Like a policeman and an ordinary man who steals. Of course, if the action is the same, the object is the same, but the policeman will be worse because he is the one that enforces, not stealing. Think about it. Think about it carefully. Then, if you do not allow yourself to dwell upon the faults that my spiritual guide may appear to have, and if I concentrate only upon his good qualities, attention to his good qualities will gradually exclude attention to his faults. It is training. There are 4 reasonings that lead us to develop more conviction that our spiritual guide is the Buddha. There are 4 lines of reasoning that we can follow to have more conviction that our spiritual guide is the Buddha. Number 1, Buddha Vajradhara said that spiritual guides are Buddhas. He will manifest in the future in the form of ordinary spiritual guides to meet you, because you have ordinary karma that can only perceive ordinary beings. Number 2, our spiritual guide performs the enlightened actions of the Buddhas. Teaching, turning the wheel of Dharma, guiding, compassionately extolling, compassionately scolding you, compassionately giving you advice, taking care of you physically, sometimes materially, taking care of you emotionally. He does all the actions of enlightened beings. He is performing the enlightened actions of a Buddha for you. Number 3, in these degenerate times, Buddhas continue to work for the benefit of all living beings through your gurus. Only through your gurus can the Buddhas work for other sentient beings. Because the true way a Buddha can benefit you is by giving you the Dharma. And the only person that can give you the Dharma is your guru. Appearances are deceptive and our own opinions are unreliable. We cannot even judge the next person next to us, let alone our spiritual teachers and people who may be enlightened or close to it or attain. If we were to have a wrong judgment and act upon it, the consequences are quite dangerous. We will be pulling ourselves and pushing ourselves away from enlightenment. Then, how to develop respect for our spiritual guide by remembering his or her kindness. Number 1, remembering that our spiritual guide is kinder than all the Buddhas because he is the one that is patient enough to teach you, to guide you, to put up with you. Number 2, remembering that our spiritual guide is kinder even than Buddha Shakyamuni. In the example that during difficulties, if someone gives you some money and you are able to build a big business and later you can attain all the great patrons and you can move up in life, it is because of that simple person who gave you something in the beginning. It is the guru who has given you instructions to destroy your negativities, destroy your delusion, purify your negative karma so that later on you can actually see the Buddha. And it is said in the Manjushri Tantra that if you visualize, believe, and trust that your guru is Buddha, you will collect the merits, the path, and the result will be the same. Which means, if you visualize that your guru is the Buddha, you will collect the merit that you will actually receive teaching from a fully enlightened being such as Maitreya and Manjushri himself in the future. You will collect that kind of merit because that's what you have been praying to. Just like if you pray to a Buddha Shakyamuni statue here that is made of wood, you keep praying, you ask for teachings, you ask for enlightenment, you will create the karma for them to actually appear and to see them and to get teachings from them. You will create that. In this life and all future lives, you will never ever be separated from a compassionate guru. Compassionate. Highly realized scholars such as Tilopa, Naropa, and Natija taught Dharma and helped disciples to attain liberation, full enlightenment. But we were not among those who benefited from their advice. The great Kadampa teachers came, but again we were not among the disciples. Jetsongkapa came and other realized teachers, Guru Rinpoche, but we are not among their disciples. If we ask, whose disciple am I? Who is now revealing the spiritual path to me? We shall see that our spiritual guide is now showing us the same kindness that the Buddhas of the past showed their disciples. Therefore, as far as we ourselves are concerned, our present Guru is kinder than all the Buddhas. Sometimes, the blessings of the spiritual guide are extremely extraordinary, as in the case of the Gishi Jayuwa, who without exerting effort and meditation gained concentration naturally through the power of his spiritual guide's blessings. There are many examples, such as the example of Naropa, who found it exceedingly difficult to receive teachings from his spiritual guide, Tilopa. Tilopa just gave him problems, but he did so to help Naropa purify his mind. On one occasion, instead of giving Dharma instructions, Tilopa threw a handful of dust into his disciple's face, whereupon Naropa developed single-pointed concentration and remained there undistracted for 1 week. All the problems that Tilopa gave were blessings in disguise. As I told you, offering actions of bodily and verbal respect, such as making prostrations or reciting verses. Offering material things, offering service, offering our Dharma practice. This is what your Guru wants. Usually when our sense powers, the eye sense power, the ear sense power, the nose sense power, the tongue sense power, and the body sense power, or our mental power comes into contact with the respective objects, form, sound, smell, taste, tactile objects, and other phenomena, delusions easily arise in the mind, causing us to engage in harmful actions that bring sufferings as their result. When we have eliminated self-grasping, which is the root of all delusions, our sense powers and their objects can come into contact without generating delusion. Until that time, we can practice protecting the doors of our senses. We can do it in 2 ways, protecting our doors from the sense of delusions, for the rising of delusions. The delusions which act through the 5 sensory powers, the delusions, ignorance, hatred, and desire, acting through your ear, your nose, your tactile feeling, your taste, your touch, your smell. The minute you see something attractive, the minute you feel something attractive, the minute you desire something attractive, immediately your desires get off, move, and you act upon it. When you act upon it, because it is motivated by desire, therefore you get negative results. How to avoid that? Number 1 and number 2. 2 ways. Number 1 is to totally avoid it by running into the caves. Impossible for us right now. And the only caves I know about is Ipoh, too far. Number 2 is to avoid eye contact. If you see a beautiful girl going that way, try to look this way. Even on the first day, you go like that. Okay, second day, you go like that. Third day, you make it less. The first day, you may turn 3 times. The second day, make it twice. The third day, make it once. And the next day, don't look anymore. By not looking slowly, you train your mind. By not concentrating, when you go to the store, you see a Gucci handbag for 5,000 ringgits. You resist. You try not to look. You try to avoid. You go back to the window, look, think about it again, walk away. Think about it again, and have your girlfriend drag you by your neck away. Slowly avoid it. Slowly destroy that distraction. Immediately, you cannot resist, of course. Slowly, you can resist. You can break it away. Slowly, definitely, you can break it away. And with Guru devotion, serving your Guru by your body, speech, and mind, especially by practice. 10 avoidances. Holding the vows of refuge. And lessening your delusions by the 2 ways I just mentioned. You will be able to advance very fast in your spiritual practice. Even if you cannot meditate a lot, even if you cannot do many prostrations, if you serve your Guru correctly and well to the best of your ability, you will advance faster than anyone else.